Hello YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. So today we're going to do a video about the things you should know before visiting Zambia. And I'm sharing these things from experience. Some of these things I had learned the hard way and you don't have to. I feel like if I'd known these things prior, it would have saved me like a lot of stress and a lot of money too. Because in some places I was calmed just because I didn't know what was happening. So I feel like knowing these things would help you a lot. So number one, you should be aware that Zambia does not use the regular taxing applications, the common ones. I mean, like Uber and Bolt. They use a separate app which is called Yango. So make sure you have this app before going into the country, and you can sort of like set it up at the airport and just start like going around that way because I had paid the most expensive taxi of my life just coming out of Zambia airport because I had assumed they use Uber or Bolt or something. I had assumed they use something between the two, only for me to get there and they don't use those apps. So I had to get like a regular taxi. The guy charged me 3 times the price. And then I came to realize that like later in the day, I was like, oh my God, I was in pain. So don't do the same thing. Just make sure you have the app, the Yango app, and you can set it up at the airport and start doing like you're going around because it's very safe. It's regular. It's just like Uber and Bolt, but it's just different. Number two, maybe you should be aware that most shops in Zambia prefer cash payments than card. So having some cash with you would save you like a whole lot. It would save you like a lot of time, a lot of trouble, and unnecessary disturbances. So maybe when you arrive, you could like exchange some money at the airport so that you like have something to start with and you can deal with it as you go. Some places do accept card, but it's a bit of a balance. So you sort of like need to have both, sort of like navigate around because yeah. Number three, you should know that at least this is different for me. I'm not sure if this is different overall, but Zambia charges different exchange rates for small notes and for the big notes. In my country, we get the same exchange rate for all notes of USDs. But I realized in Zanzibar, but then I learned the hard way that Zambia charges different exchange rates for small notes and hard notes. When I was arriving in Zambia, I had like hundreds, as in USD. And then I did not have kwacha, which is the local currency. And then this taxi driver tells me to break my hundreds in like small notes so that I can pay him. So I did exactly that. I asked for a guy to break my hundreds into small notes so that I could like be able to pay for stuff. Only for me to go to the bureau later and realize I'm literally getting a lesser exchange rate for my money because they are broken into smaller notes. That was a pain too. And you should know that also to save you that trouble because the money that you're losing in exchange rates can be painful sometimes, especially if the mistakes is mundane like this one. So be warned. Number four is if you're planning to visit the Victoria waterfalls, you should be warned that the Victoria waterfalls are better visible from the Zimbabwe side than from the Zambia side, especially during the raw season because Zambia has more water than Zimbabwe, but you can only see the Zambia water from Zimbabwe side, and you can see Zimbabwe water from the Zambia side. So if you're going to watch the Victoria Falls from the Zambia side in a low season, you're probably not going to see much because I'll show you a clip because I went there during the raw season and the Zambia side literally had like nothing going on. It was just like curtains of rocks, but the Zimbabwe side had a lot of water. So but I feel like during the high season, that's not the problem because during the high season, there's a lot of water going on and you can see like good waterfalls from like both sides. But during the last season, you're better off looking at the waterfalls from the Zimbabwe side than the Zambia side. Number five is that the local food of Zambia is nshima. And the locals say that you not have visited Zambia if you don't try the local food nshima, which was not the case for me. So I'm just keeping this here to sort of like no. I mean, like I feel like for Africans, especially because we have version of that food in like many other countries. For instance, I'm from Tanzania, and we have that similar food. We call it ugali. So for me, it was sort of like I feel like I'm fine even without trying the food. So you can try the food if you're interested, if you're curious, and you can easily get around in Zambia with just speaking English, especially in the major cities, though they speak other languages as well, but English is mostly spoken in like the city areas. So you'll be fine if English is the only language you know. and you don't know like any other local languages, you don't have to be worried about that because I didn't even have to try. Like I just use English all the way around. So the language of communication is largely English, at least in the city areas. If you're planning to take local flights in Zambia, you should know about the company called Flow Flight Zambia. You should know about it because they sort of like tend to have flash sales. So if you're planning to sort of like have travels around Zambia, make sure to sort of like follow them online or like join their WhatsApp group so that you are aware when they do the flash sales, because sometimes they charge flights to Livingstone the same price as the bus fare. So, but you have to be in their WhatsApp group to see that. You see, so if you're planning to sort of like travel around Zambia, make sure you follow them online, either on Instagram or WhatsApp, and then you'll be seeing their flash sales, and then you can sort of like take advantage for that, sort of like do your bookings so that you don't have to overpay for the flights around Zambia. If you're planning to do the Devil's Pool experience, you should be aware of the fact that, so although many companies and many hotels can help you book for the Devil's Pool experience, it's just one company called Livingstone Island something that does these bookings. I'll link the pages somewhere here in the description box down below. And because it's just one company that does the booking, all other companies or hotels that will help you book, they're literally just middlemen or agencies, and they all charge differently. Like the standard price from the Livingstone Island company, I think it's $110, but I had paid 145 because apparently the person I was booking through had like that extra commission fee, but someone else had paid 120 because the guy they're booking with had just kept like a small margin. So I'm saying this so that you know, like, even though you book through different people, they all help you book to the same person, but be aware that they're all going to charge differently because everyone is going to put their own margin. If you find this video useful up to now, please subscribe to my channel, as I'll be sharing more of these travel videos and things to know about before traveling to certain places. And I hope you've learned quite a few stuff and you've taken a few notes for yourself. And that's it for this video. I hope to see you around. Adios.